What's happening, guys? And welcome back to the channel. And I tell you what, there's something about the last week of this transfer window because I certainly wasn't expecting to be discussing the future of Cristiano Ronaldo. Just to bring you up to speed with things have developed very quickly over the course of today. Ronaldo was at Juventus's training ground this morning for about 40 minutes, saying his last goodbyes to his teammates. It was then confirmed by Allegri that Ronaldo wanted to leave the club and is leaving the club and will not play for Juventus again. A lot of the rumours circulating were saying that he was going to be heading to Manchester City, that his agent Jorge Mendes had verbally agreed a 2-year contract worth 15 million euros per season, but there was just a fee with Juventus to agree. Now Juventus are wanting between 25 to 30 million euros for Ronaldo. But in the last few moments, George, it's been breaking news that Manchester City have pulled out of negotiations for Cristiano Ronaldo, which kind of leaves a path clear for Manchester United to swoop in, providing there's not any updates of Kylian Mbappe to PSG. I mean, it's all been a bit of a whirlwind. Where do you stand on this whole Ronaldo thing? Because it looked like he was going to City. Now they've pulled out. What are your kind of thoughts?
Madness, mate. Just absolute madness. This has been the most epic transfer window, I think, of all time. I don't think people can disagree with it, with the high-profile players that have just come and gone and where they've ended up. I mean, if you had told me at the beginning of the window that Messi was going to be putting on a PSG top and Ronaldo's going back to Manchester, I wouldn't have believed you. But it's huge because of the profile of player he is, and I'm surprised that Manchester City have decided to pull out of this in literally the last few minutes as we're recording now, due to the fact I think he suits Manchester City very well. They want to play this false nine type scenario. Cristiano Ronaldo is not the same player he was even a few years ago. He's not this marathon sprinter, box to box. I think he's very much inside the box now, looking to poach, and it suits Manchester City perfectly in that sense of he's interchangeable in the front three, and you could just play him perfectly as a false nine. I think if he was to go to Manchester United, which now it looks as though, as you've said, that the path looks clear as Manchester City pulled out, I think there's more complications, so much more, which you'll go into, I'm sure, about the management, whether he can handle the personalities and the players they've already got there. But from a neutral point, being a Chelsea fan, it would just be great to see Cristiano Ronaldo back in the Premier League. I think that's what we all agree.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, it's going to be great to see him back in the Premier League, providing he does return. There's part of me that's kind of a little bit disappointed that we're not going to get to see him in a Manchester City shirt. I just would have quite liked to have seen that whole dynamic, how it would have worked. Ronaldo playing with the likes of De Bruyne, Jack Grealish, Sterling, Mahrez, all those under Pep's management. I just think it would have been fascinating, and it's a shame we're not going to get that opportunity. But yeah, I mean, obviously, currently he's in his private jet. He left Turin Airport. No one's quite sure whether he's heading to Manchester, whether he's heading to Lisbon, where he's going. But George, if you're Ronaldo, obviously it seems clear that an offer will appear on the table from Manchester United. Do you think part of him's perhaps thinking that, shall I just hold tight for a day or two longer, see what happens with Kylian Mbappe if he does join Real Madrid? And would you think he'd be tempted to go and play with Neymar and Messi at PSG?
Well, it's a really good point, isn't it? Because I think apart from the novelty aspect of Cristiano Ronaldo rejoining his old club, I don't think it makes sense. I mean, it's the type of move that Manchester United would do commercially. They've done it with, like you said, Ibrahimovic, Paul Pogba, and even we're going back even to the 90s where they used to get the big profile players, Andy Cole and the like. So I don't know. I just don't think he suits Manchester United. Now, the Manchester City thing, now it's off the table. As much as I think it would have been really nice to see, I thought it was incredibly dirty to go. I think what people have to understand is, I know, legends and iconic things are kind of out the window now because he's achieved what he wanted to at Manchester United. He moved on. It's been a long time. But I think there is just that boundary, particularly in Manchester, similar to Liverpool, Everton, Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal, Spurs, where there's a boundary. And I just think if it was any other club, it wouldn't be a problem. But I think if he was to join Manchester City, being an ex-Manchester United player, I think it is a problem. But we'll park that. I mean, the PSG scenario excites me. I think they've had the best window of all time in their club's history. So it wouldn't surprise me if Ronaldo ended up there. And what a treat it would be to see Messi and Ronaldo play together. It's just one of those moments in sport that we just wouldn't forget. But it's not. I don't think it's off the cards. But I don't know what you think about the whole Manchester United aspect, because I know you had some things to say about Ollie as well.
I'm just not really sure where it fits with United. You know, they've not been in the market seemingly for a kind of a goal scorer all window. You know, they've done their business early doors with Varane and Sancho, and you're suddenly thinking, well, did United just kind of throw their hat into the ring because of all these, you know, reports linking in with Manchester City, and they're thinking, oh God, we need to try and do something to stop him from going there. I just can't help but feel that if it was between Ronaldo going to, say, back to Real Madrid or going to PSG, that United wouldn't be anywhere near this deal. I just feel they've approached it because they just want to stop him from going to Manchester City. Don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. Any team that's got Cristiano Ronaldo in it is going to be better. But I just feel it's very, very short term from United. They've already got, you know, a short-term signing in Cavani, who's probably not going to be there. This will probably be his last season. Ronaldo comes in. If you bring him in, Ronaldo is going to have to play. He has to play. And as you said, George, at his age now, 36, he'll still offer plenty, of course, but he's not the dynamic sort of winger that he was, you know, back in his prime or even a few years ago. His game's massively changed. He's now kind of a penalty box striker. You know, he'll score you loads of goals, but he needs to play in that centre forward position. And I'm just not sure from a United perspective. All right, yeah, he's miles better than Martial. Yeah, he's probably do better than Cavani. But United's real long-term number 9 prospect is Mason Greenwood. And is it worth hindering his development for a year or two with Ronaldo in the side? And obviously Greenwood, he'd still get opportunities at centre forward, but he wouldn't get like a full crack at centre forward. They probably just shift him out wide. I don't know if that's the best thing for his development, but then obviously you could also argue it on the flip side that someone like Ronaldo coming into the club, think about how much Greenwood could learn from him. So it's difficult, and it's another massive personality for Ole to juggle in that dressing room. Plus, if the pressure wasn't already on him enough to deliver a trophy this season, if Ronaldo walks through the door, that pressure goes up again, George.
Yeah, you've summed it up perfectly. I just think he struggles with the big personalities. We've seen all the issues with Paul Pogba. I just think it adds more complications to their side than it does promote them, as much as all the positives that you've listed there about Ronaldo. I just feel like he would have to play, and therefore he's undroppable, and therefore it causes complications if he needs to tweak things. But I can see him there. I mean, they say never go back, and it's never quite the same, and it won't be the same. But there are lots of positives of what it does do. It definitely gives them that focal point that they need to improve them and to close that gap to Manchester City for sure. But there's just that question mark for me over whether Ollie can handle it. And Manchester United do tend to make these mistakes where they go for a big, high-profile commercial product, but actually on the pitch, it doesn't quite work out. And on the pitch is what has been the biggest issue for Manchester United in the last they haven't won a title for nearly 10 years now. So, yeah, the pressure is going to build if he walks through the door. But, I mean, there's been so many developments today. It wouldn't surprise me if another club pops up in the next, 24 hours, 48 hours or so, and we're talking about him potentially joining another club.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very fluid situation currently. You know, things are changing minute by minute in regards to that. But I just don't think, even if Ronaldo ends up coming back through the door at United, I don't think that transforms them into title challengers. I still think they're missing something. Yes, it'll improve them, but it doesn't. Ronaldo signing for them, if he doesn't suddenly promote them into massive title contenders. I still think they fall short even with him in the side. But just, George, last question. I know it's a tough one. Where's Ronaldo going to be playing his football next season? Because it 100% isn't Juventus.
That's so tough for me. I'm just going to go left field just because I've been wrong pretty much throughout the whole window. So I'm going to go PSG. Why not?
Fair, mate. We'd have to buy another PSG shirt. Then already got the Messi. If Ronaldo ends up there somehow, I'll have to get that one as well. But for me, I mean, I don't want to be boring, but I think he'll end up back at Manchester United to round off his career. But yeah, guys, that's just myself and George's thoughts on the future of Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously, the situation is ever changing minute by minute, so I'm sure there'll be some more updates throughout. But as always, smash a like on the video, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.